Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Metro, Ohio, and thank you for tuning in with me today. And I do have a card that I'm going to share with you, but I do want to go over a few things first. First of all, I am having a birthday celebration, and it's on my blog, but I just also wanted to briefly explain that April 8th through the 10th only, when you place an $63 order in my online store before tax and shipping, I will send you 63 pieces of 6x6 designer series paper. However, the first three that place an order, the first person will get to pick out of one of these 3 stamp sets for free: the Friendly Hello, the Special Moments, and the Calming Camellia. So that is just a little birthday celebration I have going on. All of the details about this are on my blog, but you will need to make sure you are shopping in my online store, which my name will appear, and you need to use a certain host code. And if you're not familiar with host codes, when you click on your shopping bag or shopping cart, I'm not sure, I think it's the shopping bag, in the top right hand corner, this will pop up, and it again will show my name that you're shopping with me, and then it says add host code, and you click on that link and you add a host code, and then that way that will qualify you for my birthday celebration. I also have April's PDF ordering special. And April's features the Rain Boot Bundle. And this goes on the entire month of April. When you place a $25 order before tax and shipping, I will email you this tutorial. It has pictures and directions for 5 cards. And again, you will need to use a host code, and you will need to make sure that you are shopping in my online store. And next of all, I'm sure all of you know that a new catalog will be coming out May 3rd. This is the copy, the front cover of the catalog. Per Stampin' Up! Policy, I cannot show you anything inside the catalog, but this is the front cover. And I also just want to flip it over and show you the back cover is also pretty. And there is a bundle, a stamp set in a bundle, that is this stamp set right here, and it looks gorgeous. I have placed my pre-order. As a demonstrator, I get to look at any new catalogs before they are released to customers, and could not order anything and everything I wanted out of the catalog, but our demonstrator pre-order is select items, and this bundle was one that I did order. I can't wait to get that, to see all the new ink colors and play with new stuff. That's always exciting. And in case you haven't noticed, the grid paper I have here today is the current ink colors that will be retiring. I am not sure what is still available in the colors, but we have the Bumblebee, the Magenta Madness, the Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, and Cinnamon Cider. These two, Just Jade and Misty Moonlight, were my favorite out of this collection, and I really will be sad to see those leave. So on to today's card that I want to share. And this was a card that was made at a recent card buffet class I have. That's the last Friday of the month, and it's a buffet. There's a selection of 10 cards. Customers get to pick, attendees get to pick 6. Their class fee is 6 cards, so they pick 6 cards. They can make 2 of this card, 1, 3, whatever. It's a buffet that they get to pick, and it's very, very basic, very plain. But I am going to, for today's card, I'm going to step it up just a little bit. So if you see a card, you see a design, a layout that you like, and you look at it and go, yeah, that's pretty plainy Janey vanilla, you can step that card up. You can add a couple more layers, some die cuts, some embellishments. You can do whatever you want with that card. So all the measurements for this card and all the products used are listed at the bottom of my blog. But I started with a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of crumb cake. Scored that at 5.5 at the center to give me my card base. And I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Not much, but I am going to pull out a scrap of basic white, my Pacific Point ink, and I'm going to stamp my greeting, and I'm just going to set that aside for right now. I like to make sure everything has a chance to dry. So we are done with the Pacific Point ink. Stamp out of the way. I'm going to set this up here. Now I'm bringing in another piece of basic white, and the stamp set for this card is the Art Gallery and also the coordinating Floral Gallery dies. And to step it up, I pulled in my basic border dies. And what I did is this piece here, the shimmer glimmer paper, the ombre specialty paper. I ran that through with the borders dies. So instead of this element just being plain, I've added some more to it. So we have that. I have crushed curry. I have my stamp. It's mounted on my clear block. And I'm inking up my stamp. And then I am going to bring in Calypso Coral ink, a sponge dauber, and this is how I have the inside of this flower different color. And I don't want to, I'm always, when you use a dauber, you might get a really harsh line or too much ink. I always daub off before I do anything else. Let's see if I can try and get some color just around these little flowers. And maybe this one up here. Okay, I'm going to stamp this on my basic white. I probably should have pulled out my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer. So let's see what it looks like. If it doesn't look good, we can turn it over. And that did not. So that's why there's two sides to cardstock. But before you go to stamp this again for your other image, I don't want to get any of that Calypso Coral ink into my crushed curry ink pad. So let's try it again. So I've got my ink, my crushed curry, come back with my dauber. Add my ink. Let's see if I can still pick some up on this little bit of the flower here. All right, so hopefully this is going to work better since I remembered to pull out my Stampin' Pierce mat since it's a photopolymer stamp set. Better. Make sure I clean that off so I don't contaminate my ink pad. Stamp it up again, my crushed curry, my dauber, add my Calypso Coral ink, my dauber, and yeah, kind of you can see, kind of you can't, but that's what makes it special and different. Okay, so I am going to have a greeting here so I know that these will overlap. Okay, close up my ink pads so I don't stick my fingers or my projects in my ink pads. And get rid of the mat. So, and again, what I am going to do to step this card up is I cut a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. I believe it's just about an eighth. It is about an eighth of an inch larger than my white. And I'm just going to mount that onto my Calypso Coral. Hopefully I can get this centered. That looks good. Now we need to cut out our greeting. Again, I'm using the die that's with the Floral Art Gallery. My Stampin' Scrub out of the way. I'm going to pull in my mini cut and emboss. Hopefully, if you didn't have this, you were able to grab one of these while they were 20% off. It was a great deal. That special, unfortunately, that ended the end of March. So I have my with this one. I think I've got it. There we go. Got my die on there. My top plate on. We're going to run this through and pop out our greeting. That out of the way and that out of the way. So next, all we need to do is get everything assembled and put together. So this I am going to put behind piece that I have mounted and stamped. Maybe just a little bit more adhesive on here to make sure that it sticks. So do I want my flowers? I think I kind of like it that way. So I am just going to mount this onto the back of the Calypso Coral. Add some adhesive to this because I don't want that to go anywhere. Make sure my card is going in the right direction. That always helps. And then this greeting that we die cut is going to get popped up with mini dimensionals. And I do have some here. I'm just going to put these on the back. Love the mini dimensionals. You can use these. You can always cut down your regular dimensionals. But these are just, they're mini, they're cute. And then you don't have to fool with trying to snip regular dimensionals to the size that you need. Okay, I'm going to put this on here. Lots of times I do better if I hold it up instead of leaving it lay flat. Okay, you need to come down just a little bit. There we go. I know, I always do this backwards. Should probably put this down, but I like holding my stuff when I put them together. So where I overstamped or whatever for our two stems, I'm just going to cover that up with our piece of Pacific Point. All right, and that's it. You can leave the inside, but for this one, since I stepped up the front, I am also going to, I had to put it away. I am going to stamp on the inside to put this on the inside of my cards. Let me get Pierce Matte back, clean my stamp off again. I'm going to, again, stamp this in crushed curry And bring back out a Calypso Coral with our sponge dauber. I think this time I might maybe add some to the tips of the flower. See how that works. You never know unless you try. And I'm just going to stamp this here in the bottom right corner. Oh, I do like that. So that's what we're going to put on the inside of our card. And I also pulled out some of the holiday rhinestone jewels, because those, I believe one of the colors was pumpkin pie, and I did not use pumpkin pie, but these are they're gonna match. So sometimes with Stampin' Up's colors, even if what you have is not for an embellishment the exact color, the tones are going to pick up in there so that you can still, it's still gonna match. So I believe this one, let's do this one, because this has got two small ones. I believe these were all small. So we're just gonna pull off some of our jewels. I can put that in there. So there we go. So this is what we started with, was what I was calling it a perfectly fine card. Very basic, very simple. And then we took it to this level just by stepping it up a few places. We still use the same, what did I say that was? Ombre, the ombre specialty paper. But I just used a die to give that a decorative border. I matted the piece of basic white that we stamped on onto Calypso Coral. That was the ink that I used in the center of the flowers. And I added some rhinestone jewels. And then I also added, when I go to write in this card, a piece of basic white cardstock, and I stamped on the inside of that. So that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's card, and I hope that this has you thinking about a card that you've made. How can you step that up? How can you take that to another level? Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. Bye.